Welcome back, Hybrid. In this training, we're going to talk about the essential things that you need to know about the Hybrid Method Academy. And I will dive into delivery, support, and the communication process. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about the coaching app. We're going to talk about the membership site. We're going to talk about how to get the most out of the Hybrid Method Academy. And lastly, I will share with you the power of comprehensive blood work report analysis. So let's dive into it. The coaching app. This is by far the most advanced and comprehensive app where you will get access to accountability and daily support, customized training and nutrition, habit developing tools, and progress tracking. Let's talk about accountability and support. This most likely will happen daily or at least multiple times a week, depending on where you're at. But as you get started here, you will probably need more accountability and support in the beginning. And the app is the gateway to that. So on your calendar, you will see specific tasks or workouts designed for your goals that your coach assigned to you. Once you get to your calendar, make sure that you take a look at the entire week to get familiarized with your workouts and all the action steps and assignments before the week starts. If you have any questions, make sure you clarify everything with your coach before a brand new week starts. Your coach will check in with you, will be there to answer any questions that you might have and hold you accountable to the action plan that you both agreed upon. So make sure that you keep the notifications of the app turned on so you can receive the messages from your coach. Now, when it comes to communication, you want to keep your communication with your coach through the app. The next thing that goes into the coaching app is your customized training. All the workouts and assignments for each day will be found in the dash right here under the things to do section. Okay. Sometimes you will see a specific cardio type, or it might say general. Just make sure you click on it, tap on it, and read the full description to know exactly what your coach wants from you. For a glimpse of how an entire week looks like, you want to go to calendar and basically look at all the workouts for the week ahead to make sure that you're clear on what you're supposed to do. The entire training strategy will be delivered through the app. And when I say the entire training strategy, I'm referring to resistance training, corrective exercises, cardio, stretching, foam rolling, and so on. Every person is different, and therefore every person has different needs. However, expect that everything that you're supposed to do for your training, for your rehab, if that's the case, for your cardio, for injury prevention, stretching, and so on, will be delivered solely through the coaching app. You want to track, save, rate, and leave feedback for each workout. When you submit a workout, you will have a section where you can leave us feedback. And it's important for us to know if you felt any pain in your joints, for example, or if you had to skip or replace any exercises, so we can adjust everything accordingly. Also, it's important to track every set, especially for the fundamental exercises. You want to write down the amount of reps, the resistance or the weight that you used, so we can look at how you're progressing over time. For example, one thing that we look at consistently is if the reps that you're doing are going beyond the recommended rep range, that means that you need to up your resistance or your amount of weight that you're lifting. Tracking these variables is helpful, especially when we want to break through plateaus. So please do not overlook this part. The next thing on the coaching app is obviously customized and optimized nutrition. Your nutrition strategy or meal plan will be found right here on the plans. You go under meal plan section and you will find your file. After you get to review your strategy with your coach, you want to go ahead and download this PDF and study it by yourself to make sure that you fully understand what you have to do to get started. Your customized macros will be updated via Trainerize. Okay, so in our community, some people track their macros, some don't, depending on everybody's goals, lifestyle, level of commitment, and so on. Ultimately, it's not as much about hitting macros and calories as it is about the quality of food that we're putting in our body consistently. Needless to say, almost every student that we work with gets customized macros just to create some initial awareness and get an idea about what we're aiming for nutrition-wise. When we create or update your macros, you will be notified through the app, through the coaching app. And as soon as you get the updates, if you're using MyFitnessPal, for example, you want to make sure that you go to your MyFitnessPal account and update your macros there to match the ones that we provide you with. Every nutrition strategy is different, and it could change as you're making progress, depending on your health situation, depending on your goals, body type, experience, lifestyle, current body composition, schedule. There are so many factors that can contribute to the customization of your nutrition strategy. So keep in mind and stay open that things might change as you're progressing here. Before you start tracking your food in MyFitnessPal, you want to make sure that you set your diary on public or friends only. So you coach, and make sure you have your coach in your friends list on MyFitnessPal so they can review your tracking. They can review your eating habits and give you feedback during the check-in calls. And the way you do that is by going to more, settings, diary setting, diary sharing, and you go to public or set it on public or friends only. If your nutrition strategy does not involve tracking and hitting macros, however, you want to make sure that you have your list of meals ready for every day of the week, okay? And all the approximate quantities so you can get a full review and feedback from your coach. Habit developing tools. Any successful transformation is a result of mindset and habit reprogramming. You will find your habit assignments on your dash. For some of you, it's setting a consistent bed routine, or we call it digital detoxification before bed. For some, it's cooking your own food. For other students, it's getting more steps in and drinking more water. Again, it depends what is actually going on in your life right now, habit-wise, that can potentially get in the way of you getting to make progress that you want to make. Once you complete a habit, you want to submit it, but most importantly, commit to building momentum with it. Meaning that you have to train the muscle by getting the reps, repeating the habits until they get ingrained in your lifestyle and to your subconscious mind. And this is a quote that I got from one of my mentors. In life, we don't get what we want. We get the outcomes produced by our habits. If sleep is not on point, or hydration is off, or you don't take consistent time for self-care, and you're always running around with anxiety, overeating processed foods or restaurant foods, not breathing properly, most likely these unhealthy habits will get in the way of your progress. So our goal will be to rewire those habits and eventually tap into your subconscious old programming to bring all these unhealthy habits to the surface to see what got you to the point where you lost touch with your own health and body. And then we want to start reprogramming, recoding that old software and create a brand new one that actually serves you. Because again, in life, you don't get what you want. You get the outcomes produced by your habits, what you're doing on a daily basis. Progress tracking, aka keeping the finger on the pulse. This is my favorite one. I'm a metrics guy. So what's not being measured cannot be improved, obviously, right? So in other words, if you don't track progress, you don't know what you need to work on in order to get better and set yourself up for sustainable and predictable transformation, progress. In the Hybrid Method Academy, we are tracking progress at least once a week, okay? So what you want to do is to pick a day of the week and stick to it. We usually assign you that day for Sunday. However, if you can't submit your progress on Sunday consistently, then pick whatever day you want to pick. But once you decide on that, you want to stick to it because it's important to check your progress under the same conditions or environment. So for example, if you pick Friday morning, right, you do your measurements, you check your progress in the morning on an empty stomach after you went to the bathroom. For progress photos, you pretty much do the same thing. You want to follow the same guidelines, okay? You want to make sure that you go through the same routine. Plus, you want to use the same spot, the same outfit, ideally the same lighting at approximately the same time of the day. Now, just a side note here, I want to let you know that it is impossible to not make progress when you track these variables consistently and adjust your routines as suggested by your coach. And here are the variables: progress photos, your body weight, body measurements, body composition, which includes your body fat percentage, lean muscle mass, visceral fat, your blood pressure, your biomarkers once you get your blood work done. And as you can see, there are a lot of variables that we consistently look at. So when someone gets stuck, whether that's because they eat too much on weekends, or maybe they overeat fats and carbs in one sitting consistently, which is, by the way, one of the biggest reasons why most people gain a lot of body fat, or there's something that they're not aware of. What we do is we look at these metrics, we look at their nutrition, we look at their activity level, and we can make the necessary educated adjustments easily without having to guess anything. The membership site, the curriculum for the Hybrid Method Academy. This is the official course for the program, and we continuously work on improving it. You might see 64 lessons here right now. However, this number might change over time. It might go up or down. The goal is to deliver the information that you need in the most effective way. This course is meant to help you build the foundation, build the habits, the mindset, and get the skills which are needed to reach your goals and sustain your progress. While focusing on what to do is important to make progress, the mindset is the most important piece when it comes to long-term transformation. It's more about who you need to become from the inside out in order to transform your body and optimize your health at the level that you want. If you're watching this video, that means you're already here, okay? Find the link in the welcome email and please bookmark it. You want to make sure that you have access to this course at any time because sometimes you might be driving long hours and you can open this on your phone and play it while you're driving. The goal is to keep learning and applying what you're learning in this process from this course. Just know that you will receive automated reminders on the coaching app with every module relevant for each phase that you will be in. Every month you will get the links to the exact modules and courses related to the phases that you will be going through during the program. And so it is important to make sure that you keep up with the messages that you will receive and watch the modules assigned to you for each phase. You can also study the course at your own pace. If for whatever reason you choose to do that, you want to make sure you block off time in your calendar and get it done before you're reaching the end of the Hybrid Method Academy. Because this also counts towards your eligibility to apply for the Hybrid Method Elite, which is only for the students who are serious about their transformation, who put in consistent work during this entry-level program and really want to take it far. And they prove that, they show signs of that. How to get the most out of the Hybrid Method Academy? Well, you want to follow the CSI. And no, it's not Crime Scene Investigation Miami. It's actually communicate, show up, and implement. Let's talk about communicate. Our success is your success. And that only happens when we start and continue with a two-way communication, meaning that we not only communicate when things are progressing and everything goes nice and smoothly, but we also stay in communication when roadblocks get in the way. Because the reality is that sometimes happens. And that's when we need to stay in touch the most. Otherwise, the fear, the old habits, the old way of dealing with emotions and challenges will take over. And before you know it, you will find yourself back into the old habits, playing the victim game again. We all have been there. So staying in communication throughout the entire journey will be key for your success. So let's make sure you make this commitment to yourself right now, okay? When you have a question, you always ask it. Never hold back here. There are no good or bad, right or wrong questions. The worst question is the one that's on your mind and you don't ask it. Another important trait for becoming successful here is when you're willing to receive and give honest feedback. We know we're not perfect and we don't expect you to be perfect either. It's about consistent and perfect action, compounded over time, that will lead to your success. However, it is important to give and receive feedback as we're doing this work together. For example, you get your workouts in and your shoulders start hurting, or it takes you too long comparing to the amount of time that you're willing to dedicate for your workouts. Well, if that's the case, you want to let us know as soon as possible. If there's anything in specific that you would want our feedback on, always bring it up and ask. For example, when we look at your weekly progress photos, at your metrics and tracked workouts, expect us to get back to you and provide honest feedback. Because this is a partnership that we're creating together, so you can start moving in the right direction, but we need to rely on feedback. Here are the 3 ways to stay in communication. The first one, through the coaching app with your personal coach. The second one, in the groups. We have the VIP private community and the group chat. If you have wins, if you have some wisdom or questions that you think other future students may benefit or learn from, please post that in the VIP group and tag us there. When you ask, you actually add value to other people because you most likely won't be the only one who has that specific question or facing that specific challenge. If it's something more urgent, however, you want to post that in the group chat or voice notes using the Voxer app. And your coach's username is in the welcome email. Show up. Your success is only limited by the amount of action that you choose to take. Number 1 priority is to be in that imperfect, consistent action, which equals momentum. That means implementing one thing at a time, being patient with yourself and giving yourself grace because you won't get everything perfectly from the beginning. And it's totally fine. In this so-called advanced society, we've been taught that in order to accomplish success, we need to be good at doing things. We need to be perfect at accomplishing tasks. Well, before you get good at something, you must be willing to let go of these useless, perfectionist type expectations. You must be willing to make mistakes as you get started on a new endeavor, because that's the only way you will master this game. That's the only way you will learn new skills. Another way to show up is by scheduling in your check-in calls with your coach. Once you and your personal coach establish the check-in cadence, you want to make sure that you schedule your calls ahead of time and show up on time for every call with your questions ready, assignments completed, and ready to take action moving forward. Show up on the weekly mastermind group calls, open and willing to soak in information, learn, and implement. Every week we have calls on different topics such as nutrition, mindset, leadership, training, recovery, emotional healing, and so on. We post the topics and the Zoom links ahead of time in the group chat and inside the VIP Facebook community. So always prioritize showing up on these mastermind group calls, willing to absorb, like I said, knowledge, learn new skills, and take them with you in your day-to-day life as you're growing on this journey. Another way to show up is by sharing wins and sharing how you overcome obstacles. And you can do that in THM community. That is such a beautiful way to show up for others, to inspire and empower other people to show up for themselves. And by doing that in THM community, you will inspire other individuals who are still looking for a solution, who are still looking for an answer to improve their health and transform their mind and body and perhaps heal their past wounds. So it's a great opportunity for you to show leadership and give back to people. Lastly, the 4-5-1 standard, at least 4 workouts a week, 5 days of hitting nutritional goals, and 1 call attendance per week. I made a different training where I go in full detail into 4-5-1, but for now, this is what it means. I, which is implement. Once the strategy is ready, it's time to put it to use. Information without implementation is worthless. This is the most important and exciting part of the entire program. During this week, we're already working on customizing your coaching program, customizing your workouts, your nutrition, your accountability plan, and so on. During the onboarding call, your personal coach will walk you through the entire strategy and make sure that you're fully prepared to get into action. That means implementing the strategy 1 step at a time. In fact, you're doing it right now as you're watching these training videos and complete every assignment. So you're already in action. Congratulations. Another thing when it comes to implementation is you want to follow your coach's requirements for a smooth transition. Depending on your situation, your coach might ask you to send pictures of your meals and beverages this week, or make some adjustments with your nutrition. They may ask you to send videos of your gym equipment. Maybe film yourself performing specific exercises. So they make sure the form is right and there's no risk for injury. It depends, okay? Whatever the case may be, let's make sure that you're taking action so you can have a smooth and fun transition. Once your program is ready, it's time to implement it, okay? After the onboarding call, your coach will give you a heads up letting you know that your workouts are uploaded, your nutrition plan is good to go. You want to make sure that you take a look at your workouts for the first week of phase 1 in the program. Get familiarized with the layout of the workouts, exercises, so when you're at the gym, you get right into action and not get stuck staring at the phone. The same thing applies for your nutrition plan. You want to take a look at it as early as possible, go buy your groceries, and start preparing your food before Monday when things get, crazy and overwhelming. Some of you might want to outsource food, so make sure you're clear on what meals you're supposed to outsource for your goals and place your order ahead of time. Even though it might not be perfect from the beginning, prepare your food ahead of time, okay? Order your food ahead of time and stay in communication with your coach and ask for consistent feedback. It might take a few weeks until you dial everything in, and that is okay. Don't wait until last minute. You want to make sure that you check your strategy ahead of time. That's a big pitfall sometimes students fall into. They wait too long, and when a new week kicks in, they start freaking out. So make sure you take that imperfect action early on and stay in communication. If you forget everything from this training, you want to keep in mind these 3 things to implement as soon as your plan gets assigned to you: sleep, nutrition, and workouts. Without sleep, the rest will be useless. Okay, so let's make sure you're getting at least 7 hours of quality sleep per night. Nutrition-wise, you want to implement as much as you can this first coming week and make adjustments as you go by asking for feedback from your coach. Workout-wise, go to the gym, get as much as you can done, and let your coach how your training session went. Okay, these 3 things will move the needle for your energy, body composition, and health optimization goals. Visible progress will not happen outside of these 3 elements. Lastly, let's talk about the comprehensive blood work report analysis. This is the tool that will help us eliminate guesswork. When we want to optimize health and transform the body on the outside, we need to know what is actually going on the inside, health-wise. So this is where we eliminate blind supplementation that can lead to toxicity, that can lead to inflammation in the body. This gives us a better understanding of what your body needs in terms of nutrition to actually thrive, to have more energy, to build muscle and perform better. Whether you choose to do this through your physician or you choose to go on insighttracker.com, you want to make sure that you get all these biomarkers checked. Okay, some of you can get this through your physician because your insurance may cover for it. If that's the route that you're taking, just take a screenshot of this list or copy it from the link below and send it to your physician or your lab so they don't miss any of these markers. The problem with the current medical industry, though, is that most physicians and insurances don't cover all these markers because this is for prevention. And this is my personal opinion, but it seems like preventing illness is not as profitable as treating the symptoms is. So just be aware of that. If you manage to do this through your doctor, through your physician, make sure you let us know as soon as you get the results, get access to the PDF, and go on insighttracker.com, and basically you want to choose blood results upload, okay? You want to pick the service, upload your results there, and then share your results with us using contact@limitlessfitnessusa.com. If you're doing this through insighttracker.com, the ultimate plan is basically all you need, because this covers all the biomarkers that we need to look at. You can use Emmanuel Pro 25 for a 25% discount, or you can ask your coach for any seasonal bigger discount codes if available, because sometimes we do receive like 30% temporary discounts that we usually share in the group chat, but sometimes we forget because we get spammed with a lot of emails. So make sure you always ask. This plan, the ultimate plan, covers all the biomarkers that we need to look at. If you want to do the inner age or the complete picture plan, it's your choice. They give us more insight, but those are not necessarily needed at this phase. You can still get 25% discount by using the code, but it's up to you. A cool option that they have is this mobile blood draw. If you can't get to the lab, they come to your office or home. If you don't want to spend time driving to the closest lab that they have in your area, they will basically send you a mobile blood draw to your location. They charge a little extra for that, but it can be extremely convenient. Personal recommendation, if possible, try to fast for anywhere between 14 to 16 hours prior the blood draw. And that is important because we want to see how your fasting insulin levels and blood sugar look like. Now, once you complete the order on insighttracker.com, you want to schedule yourself in as soon as you can. The sooner we get the results, the sooner we get to customize your supplementation and nutrition plan. Once you get the results, once again, you want to share them with us at contact@limitlessfitnessusa.com. And also, let your coach know that you got the results in. Once you get everything in, you want to schedule your one-on-one report analysis session. One of our coaches or assistants will actually reach out to you and schedule you for an individual report analysis session with your coach to make sure that you both go together over the health markers that are at risk or need work and set a plan together. Also, if you have any questions, you want to make sure that you address them during that session. I'll see you in the next training video.